Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jmorrow bringing you a replay today between EG's ThorZaIN and Virtus Pro's sLivko. So let's go ahead and jump into this game. This is, of course, on Cloud Kingdom. So spawning down here in the bottom left corner, we do have EG ThorZaIN as our red Terran, and spawning up here in the top right, we do have Virtus Pro's sLivko as our teal Zerg. So let's get some brief intros about these players. Of course, ThorZaIN, known very, very well around the world, has done very well coming over from Sweden, actually joining Evil Geniuses just less than a year ago now, I still think it is, but done very, very well for himself. A lot of people are impressed him. Always love to watch him play because he's so tactical, he's so specific about everything he does, and definitely impresses a lot of people. As far as sLivko goes, I mean, the Europe has just been overflowing with great players. I mean, we've seen Sort of come out recently, who just blows everybody away. I mean, of course, we had a ton of players coming over from Europe here and there, but lately it's just been crazy with let's see, who else do we have? We have Vortex and his brother Lucifron both coming out doing very, very well. I mean, there's just so many players coming out right now. Of course, we always have the old-fashioned ones like White Rob, but as of late, I've actually really enjoyed seeing some of the Europeans play. They actually do a different play style, especially when they play on in North American tournaments. We get to see some different things, especially when they're online. But overall, this should be a pretty fascinating game. It actually looks like ThorZaIN is going for a proxy barracks, and sLivko actually does scout it with his Overlord, but ThorZaIN does not get to see the Overlord scouting his barracks. So kind of very nicely done by sLivko. I'm not sure why ThorZaIN picked that position, because I mean, the first Overlord, it's pretty obvious it's going to hit towards the natural, I would say, for the most part. Maybe he wanted to show that, I'm not sure, but here comes the first drone actually coming across the map. Actually, two drones are coming out, going to start harassing both these SCVs, and I feel like ThorZaIN's in a lot of trouble here. He cancels both of them. Now he is going to have enough money to do a command center first if he wants to, and that's exactly what he's going to follow it up with. So losing about 30, 40, 50 minerals or so on the cancellation between the two. This pulls both SCVs back, and here comes the command center first. sLivko does already have his hatchery down, so the timing was delayed slightly by ThorZaIN. Not the end of the world, and actually spawning pool before the command center goes down, so that's going to hurt him just a little bit. Overlord in great position here. For those of you Zerg players out there who do not know about this position, it is wickedly overpowered. You just sit above the rocks here. You get so much great vision, especially since the rocks are on the right side here, but works out really well, especially when you get gas timings, but that definitely comes into play at later stages. And it looks like actually the first barracks is going to come down, so we are going to see a slight wall here. Maybe the next supply depot, because the first one was placed back here, not opting to wall off whatsoever, and actually a second SCV is being pulled. I believe this is going to start a supply depot down on the ground, so he's going to create a soft wall here along with his command center. And I really wonder if we're going to see a third command center coming out from ThorZaIN. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Actually, a second barracks before the supply depot, so kind of interesting. Of course, ThorZaIN knows the timing's a lot better than me, so he knows if he can actually manage to get the next barracks down before he starts that second supply depot. So we'll have to see how does that work out for him. But we do actually have the hatchery finishing on the low ground. Two queens start at the same time. Very nicely done by sLivko, of course, getting that timing down. Two barracks actually on the low ground. Third barracks is going to get thrown down here, and we might actually see another command center come down here, I believe. But what's really, really interesting to me is sLivko can see this. He can see both these barracks. Excuse me. He can see both these barracks in the low ground, and I wonder if he's thinking, hey, I wonder if there's a third one. We'll have to see if he moves the Overlord in a better spot. But overall, sLivko has great scouting information. He knows exactly what's going on. Right? He says, okay, I can see your barracks timing here. I know that you... Actually, does he know that he has a command center on the low ground? No, he doesn't, actually. But, I mean, he can kind of assume at this point, I hope. sLivko is a very good player. But we do have the first gas coming down. Not even a third hatchery as of yet. What is he doing with all his minerals? It looks like he's getting 2 additional queens, going up to 4 queens off 2 base. So pretty relevant, pretty standard right now. And let's take a look at the drone versus SCV, 25 to 18. Of course, sLivko is going to be slightly ahead, or actually quite a bit ahead, because especially with how many queens he has out. And here comes the Overlord, actually positioning a little further back, does not want to lose that Overlord there. And now he's going to take the watchtower back from the Zergling. sLivko pulling that Zergling back, making sure not to lose it. Something very, very small, 25 minerals, not a huge deal, but at this early stage of the game, definitely have 74 resources lost for ThorZaIN from those 2 cancellations. I was way off. My math is absolutely great today. But we do actually have the 3 barracks just producing Marines one at a time here. And actually, he's going to lift off here, what's he going to do with this barracks? Is he going to reposition? No, he's just going to actually push out here. I wonder if he's going to do a soft timing to try and force sLivko to produce some units, because sLivko does not have anything out besides his 2 queens, 2 Zerglings, no speed, excuse me, no Baneling nest, so... a little bit of a marine pressure can actually hurt him right now. The 2 Zerglings are going to take the watchtower. Of course, this vision is not big enough to see these Marines walking alongside. And actually looks like, let's take a look at where they're waypointed. Let's follow these along the way. Actually, just directly waypointed all the way to the third. He's actually going to force a cancellation here. So this is very, very nice by ThorZaIN. He's going to force a cancellation almost immediately. There are not enough Zerglings in the field. And yeah, he actually is going to pick up the drone too. And no, he does not. But look at the resources lost. Now he's up by 1 resource. So that's definitely going to help him out here. 2 gas on the way for ThorZaIN. The first gas from sLivko is now actually being mined from. Actually, he's got 150 out of it. What's he going to do with it? He's going to go for a layer with this. I cannot tell as of yet. There's the second inject, the second gas geyser, no third and fourth. A lot of Zerglings on the field, actually. Up to 12 right now. No more in production now. 2 evolution chambers. So it looks like, oh, he's actually going to get another cancellation, actually killing off the drone this time. A bit of a misstep by sLivko, not getting the vision that he needs in order to see this coming. There are 3 queens on the low ground, so we'll be able to spread the creep very, very quickly, which will allow him to defend this again. There is no Baneling nest as of yet, and the layer is on the way. So very, very nicely done by ThorZaIN, really getting back into this game. 2 gas geysers are being grabbed on the low ground. Of course, sLivko does know about the 1 on the low ground, but does not know about the second one. All the Marines are returned home. We're up to 16 Marines versus 20 Zerglings, and additional, actually, engineering base, a factory, and another barracks are coming down. Command center, the third of ThorZaIN is done before sLivko's, and now sLivko's out on the map. He's like, hey, guess what? I have speed now. I'm going to come after your Marines. And he goes, okay, well, I have a wall here. You're not going to stop me. But the problem is this is actually going to hurt ThorZaIN if he was able to do any sort of harass on this. Notice where ThorZaIN's positioning his Marines. He's trying to defend this tech lab, which is researching STIM. STIM is so crucial. When you lose STIM, when it's being researched, especially when it's like over halfway done, it is brutal to watch. I just want to cry every single time I see it. But we do actually have 3 gas geysers from our Zerg player. It looks like he's going to go for Infestor Zergling maybe. He's only on 3 gas. If he grabs a 4th gas geyser, this may be Mutilus play. Mutilus play is still good. Both are just wonderful depending on the playstyle. And to be honest, I am not familiar which way sLivko primarily goes. European Zerg tend to do both, but looks like we are going to start combat shields shortly for ThorZaIN. He does actually have the money to do so, and there it is. Combat shields has been started. We do actually have 1-1 on the way. Factory is now finished, and actually getting the tech lab immediately. No starport, so it looks like he's going to get up to siege tech. And here comes an overlord into the main. I'm surprised that ThorZaIN does not have a couple Marines just poised here. 2 or 3, not a big deal. Just making sure that there's not a lot of scouting information. Oh no, this could actually hurt ThorZaIN quite a bit. He's moving across the map right now. He has a ton of Marines out. Stim is not done, but actually might force sLivko to produce units. He does have 22 Zerglings on the field. And oh, looks like the Zerglings do get through. This is actually going to hurt very, very bad. No wall at the top of his ramp, so all these Zerglings are going to run around. He really needs to close off this wall just so reinforcements do not get in. And it looks like he's going to transfer to third, but the lair did finish, so he was able to drop the creep at the third. Oh, ThorZaIN is in a lot of trouble here. He's actually getting messed up quite a bit. And here comes more Zerglings. The door is still open, and sLivko knows it, man. The Overlord does see actually all this information, so it looks like he's trying to land it. It is not going to happen. Oh, very, very nice micro with the drones there, but oh wow, he's losing quite a bit of drones here. 9 are already dead. Going to lose some more. The first tank might get target fired down, and actually very, very nicely done by ThorZaIN, able to retain a lot of that battle. Only losing 9. Well, 9's quite a bit, and look at the resources lost. ThorZaIN's still up right now, so but the problem is this Overlord. This is what I was talking about. This multitasking. ThorZaIN is not able to get to this third. There is an Overlord dropping creep there, and it looks like actually sLivko's tech decision was to go for the infestation pit, getting +1-1. Looks like he's going to start +2-2 here shortly. Is getting Baneling speed. Is going for Banelings as well. And so we might actually see a pressure timing from sLivko to try and stop the third of ThorZaIN. There's nothing wrong with that. ThorZaIN, really need. Yeah, now he's building the supply depot wall. You can actually double pad this wall if you wanted to. There's nothing wrong with that. Even triple pad it, to be honest. You never know. You need those emergency days. You never ever want to leave your base unopened like that. But it looks like actually ThorZaIN's moving out. I feel like this is a huge, huge mistake. If he drops the scan, he will see everything that's going on over here. Siege mode is not done, and this siege tank is all by itself out here. It's going to get targeted down. But oh, actually picking up the infestor. Very nicely done. If he's able to split properly here, this would be huge. The Banelings are not connecting on anything yet. And oh, the Banelings are getting very, very close here. He needs to get away, but the Zerg are going to get a full surround, and one Baneling connect is going to erupt and take out the majority of the Marines. These Marines are starting to fall very, very nicely by ThorZaIN, trying to micro back, but it's not going to happen, man. sLivko defends that. sLivko can now take a fourth very, very comfortably. ThorZaIN in a lot of trouble right now. Only has 3 command centers. Does not have siege mode on the way. There it is, just started now. And 2 additional command centers. Very, very smart move by ThorZaIN here. He knows he can't apply pressure on his opponent. He knows he really can't do a whole lot. So what is he going to do? Well, he's going to retreat back, try and get this third up, get this wall going here. But I mean, I feel like sLivko's in a great spot. He's taken his 4th right now. He has a macro hatchery complete, getting a hive, getting +2 weapons. There's creep spread everywhere. He's going every direction possible. Could actually take this base as well once he has enough minerals. There's nothing wrong with that. As Day9 always talks about, expanding in 2 different directions is always great at this point, especially on this map, because it forces ThorZaIN to make a decision, and actually sLivko would be in a great spot if that happened. Don't think it's going to happen. ThorZaIN getting 2 extra command centers is not going to do any more pressure right now. ThorZaIN really needs to get a second factory up, to be honest, sacrifice a couple of minutes of building marine time to try and get his tanks up, because he is so far behind on his tank count. I think we're at 1. Yeah, we're at 1 right now, which is hurting him a lot. He is getting +1 weapons, I hope. I hope that's not +2 weapons. I believe it's just +1. Yeah, it's just +1 weapons right now. There are some Zerglings going to wrap around, go towards the 3rd, but you know, ThorZaIN's actually going to be able to defend this quite nicely. Not a huge deal. I would like to see ThorZaIN actually wall this area off, because he still has this opening right here, and again, sLivko can see when the supply depots are down, so he really needs to keep an eye on that. Hive is more than halfway done, +2-2 on the way, and it looks like, oh, we had a little bit of lag there for just a second. It looks like somebody's sound died. A little bit of problem, but not going to hurt this game too much. There's a medevac full of Marines going by, and actually, he actually did see all of that, so how is sLivko going to respond? We should see a couple of infestors bunch up over here real quick. It looks like the Hive is just about done, or excuse me, yeah, the Hive and the Spire, so he's going to go up to Greater Spire very, very quickly. Medevac on the left side as well, so hopefully ThorZaIN makes a good decision here. There are a ton of units over here. I think sLivko thinks his 4th is about to get hit here, but I'm not sure. This Overlord does see everything. There's a Spore Crawler here, a second Spore Crawler, or a Spine Crawler, and this drop is going to do absolutely nothing. Going to lose the entire Medevac full of units. Very, very bad for ThorZaIN. Trying to go after the 4th as well. If there is a fungal, and yes, there is on top of the Medevac, all these units are going to die very, very quickly. Nice micro by sLivko, making sure the Zerglings go down and the Infestors stay up. Those units are going down. ThorZaIN down to 112 supply, really starting to hurt him. There are a ton of units here that could actually cancel this command center here, or force the lift off from the planetary. Looks like +3 infantry is on the way, and there is actually another command center on the way, it looks like, from ThorZaIN. So ThorZaIN saying, you know what, I know I'm behind, I know I've made a couple mistakes this game, but here's my plan. I'm going to sit back and just macro up as hard as I can. If he can get up to 4 bases very, very comfortably, that would definitely help him. Needs to push this creep back. This is a very good decision by him. But again, there are all these units up here. If he morphs these into Banelings, he could actually crash it into the orbital, and I forget the exact number, but I mean, that would do drastic amounts of damage. It looks like sLivko actually doing something a little bit different, expanding further west as opposed to taking this eastern expansion. Not sure why he's doing that. Maybe he wants to poise his army in such a great spot, like right around here, so that he can actually defend both points. But I really like this from sLivko so far. He's in a great spot, actually pushing back against these Marines. These Marines are all going to die off, and now sLivko is trying to retain as much of this creep spread as possible. There's a missile turret coming down here as well, but actually needs some sort of vision up here, because of course infested Terrans are a pain to deal with on the high ground on this map. And there are 7 Broodlords in production, man. This is really going to hurt from sLivko. We do actually have plus weapons on the way. We are starting Viking production. I believe that's one of the first. Yeah, there's 2 on the field right now, getting 2 more reactors. So his Viking production is going to pick up very, very drastically here, trying to retain as much of this as possible. And 2 more command centers on the way. Man, ThorZaIN does not mind going to later stages of this game. And these Banelings are just going to get a solid connect here if he doesn't micro this properly, actually blowing up a lot of the Banelings. Does he have Burrow? Actually does not, surprisingly, at this stage in the game. You kind of just want to get everything, you know, getting +3/3, getting the Burrow, getting upgrades for everything. And oh, one Baneling connect actually turns the tide on that battle. These Marines are going to micro their hearts out, and are they going to do it? There are 2 Marines versus 3 Zerglings, and it looks like this Marine is a champ. It actually kills them all. 5 kills up to a corporal. And wow, sLivko actually taking ThorZaIN's expansion. Now here's what he's doing. He's going to split up ThorZaIN. I think the reason he actually took this expansion was because ThorZaIN took this one. So that is my mistake. I actually didn't even think about that. We do have a sensor tower here as well, and it looks like we're getting up to go for Ravens. So he's getting the Corvid reactor. Going to go after Ravens. There's nothing wrong with that. We've all seen ThorZaIN do some crazy shenanigans with the Seeker missiles blowing up a huge army of Broodlords. Some players liked to go for Ghost. Notice I said past tense. Some players like to go for Battlecruisers or to go for Viking mass amounts, but knowing ThorZaIN, we're going to see some Ravens coming out, plus 2 weapons on the way for those air units, and it looks like, oh, here comes the huge march from sLivko. Does not have a lot of creep spread over here, but this is not going to be a problem from him. 0-0 on the Broodlords, except for the Broodlings will have +2/2. Starting to get plus armor, which is going to be very, very important. And it looks like actually his army composition is looking pretty handsome right now. Looking at the overall units, we have 10 Broodlords, 8 Banelings. Would like to see a few more of those. Only 5 Infestors as well. I feel like majority of his army is stuck in these Zerglings and his drones, it looks like, actually. He does actually have 82 drones, which is not a bad thing. Of course, Zerg players having a lot of drones, but oh, bad spot to pick ThorZaIN. The wrong base to try and harass. These Zerglings did actually prevent this base from going down as well, and it looks like he actually might start target firing down the hatchery, but the hatchery is still at yellow or orange health, which is going to be completely fine. We do have +3 armor on the way from sLivko, and sLivko's in a great spot right now, man. He has so many bases on the field. Let's look at this. He has 3 over here, he's up to 6-7 bases. He's going to start mining gas off these. I mean 8 to 10 gases for a Zerg is just a wet dream come true, and it looks like he's actually going to be able to retain that very easily. And it looks like ThorZaIN just trying to get every upgrade in the book, like I was talking about, getting +2 weapons, +2 shields, +3 weapons for his for his infantry and also getting building armor. So trying to take this later stage of the game, I feel like this is a little bit of a mistake right now by sLivko. He has a sick army. He could reinforce it very, very well. You know, some players like to throw this big gas-heavy army at them and then follow it up with a ton of roaches. That works out well if you do it right. He's getting Seeker Missile now, and I feel like sLivko is making a bit of a mistake here, letting ThorZaIN get back into his comfort zone, which ThorZaIN's comfort zone we all know is slow and steady. Slow and steady. He doesn't care. He'll go till 45 minutes. He'll go to 2 hours in this game. If it means winning this game, he does not care. It looks like he has a really good army to counter what sLivko has. He's getting Ghost as well, so he's going to have Ghost, Raven, Viking, Siege Tank, Marine, and it looks like actually stimming and trying to throw away a lot of his Marines, it looks like, because a lot of these units are going to get caught in position. One Baneling Connect is going to detonate all over this army, and it looks like trying to lift off as much as he can. Very nicely done, but it's not going to retain too much of it. Zerglings are moving in, and how is he going to reconstruct this? Is he going to start building Marines, or is he just going to turn this into Ravens and Ghosts and Vikings? And it looks like the answer is no more Marines are being produced as of yet. sLivko still has a ton of these. He still has Zerglings, he still has some Banelings, and there we go, morphing the rest of his Zerglings into Banelings. Nothing wrong with that. And, oh, I see what he's lining up to do. He's going to crash into the planetary down here and actually detonate all over, try and get it down. Surprisingly, ThorZaIN doesn't have any buildings over here. You'd think you would throw a couple supply depots down to crash into it, but here come the Banelings. We'll have to see if this is going to be enough to destroy it. Of course, the Banelings are doing... it looks like he's going to crash right into the planetary fortress. It's going to go down very quickly, and all these Marines are trying to come in to help, and they might actually die too, so they got to be careful. And, oh, nice. Banelings did not detonate all over that. It looks like he's actually going to pull up another command center. 2 command centers going down, and there's a stim, just making sure that there's nothing else over here. You know what's surprising here is his medevac count is only 3. This says to me that he's not going to go for a biological army. Geez, 5 more command centers on the field. Trying to deny this base. ThorZaIN knows he's on 5 base. He's pretty comfortable right now, but oh, I missed this actually. The Broodlords hopping over the wall here, throwing down some Broodlings, and it looks like this barracks is going to end up going down here if it doesn't get repaired. It is getting repaired right now, and look at this army from sLivko. If ThorZaIN is able to get in here with a couple of Seeker Missiles, that would change the tide of this battle for sure. And now ThorZaIN knows his advantage. He has this very mobile army. He has these Marines that are stimmed, that are drugged out of their mind, doing so much damage, actually targeting down the Corruptors very, very quickly, but it looks like sLivko has had enough here. He's going to try and push forward, and ThorZaIN is doing the same, trying to push on his opponent. Surprisingly, sLivko does not have any sort of spine color wall, so ThorZaIN's actually able to push up in here. Might actually force a cancel. I don't know what upgrade that was, but it looks like he actually did force a cancel on it. Infestors are pushing in here, trying to do a little bit of damage, and it looks like these Broodlings are very, very strong, 3-3, and here come the Ghosts. They're going to move in here. EMPs dropped all over the Infestors. You actually missed 2 of them. Where are the Ravens? I'm waiting for the Seeker Missiles to come in, and ThorZaIN is being unchecked right now. Here comes the Viking army. Where are the Seeker Missiles? There they are. Looks like the Seeker Missiles are going off, blowing up all over everything, killing off majority of the Broodlords, and now all these Infestors are completely out of energy. The Broodlords are dying very, very quickly, and ThorZaIN may have done it. sLivko down to 130 supply, not reconstructing anything, no roaches, no Zerglings, nothing in production right now, and actually ThorZaIN is pushing on both ends right now. His Marine army is still in great tag. Now the Vikings are just going to land. There's a Raven there, so they can't burrow, and so ThorZaIN just targeted down the Overlords. sLivko going to actually drop in supply here. It looks like there's the burrow, but again, there are already all these Ravens sitting here, so that's not going to help whatsoever. It looks like sLivko is actually cornered here. Is he going to lose the remainder of their army? It looks like, yes, these Vikings on the ground doing 14 damage. There's the GG from sLivko. I cannot believe it, man. sLivko actually did not win that engagement. He did not spread out his Broodlords. I think ThorZaIN did a great job. He actually was able to drop a couple of EMPs on the Infestors, drain all their energy, and then moved in with his army. He didn't show the Ravens, I don't think, until it was too late for sLivko to do anything about it. sLivko was able to drop really nice fungal growths all over the Viking, but the Viking weren't the problem. As soon as the Seeker Missiles got in range, they detonated, blew up everything, and man, look at that. 25,000 resources lost versus 12,000. Very, very well done from sLivko overall. But I really enjoyed this game. I thought it was a great game. If you guys enjoyed my casting, please let me know. I'm on Twitter under Jmorrow Pro, and let me know any feedback. I'd really appreciate it. But thank you for tuning in.